How you doing? Peace, peace, peace. Yes, listen, behind the scenes stuff. We getting ready. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live. Welcome. This is All Things Self Mastery Show, All Things Self Mastery Podcast. So, welcome and peace. Hope you all are having a happy Saturday to my YouTube family, Facebook family, TikTok family. We're going to be getting into a deep, perhaps not so deep discussion. I'm going to be sharing with you, as you all know, self mastery tips, tricks, sometimes information, definitely sharing the information that you need to help you change the trajectory of your life. So before we get into it, let me just go ahead and just play this brief introduction, and we will be right back. Yes, yes, yes. We are back. It is Saturday, 5/4, May 4th, 2024. Numbers is always good. If you know the numbers game, baby, it'll help you rule. It will definitely help you rule. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Venus Agoddess. I am a self-mastery mentor, solutionist, and some may call coach. I've been teaching self-mastery practices for the better of 15 plus years. And I might say, so if I do say so myself, I've been extremely successful in helping people change the trajectory of their life. Because at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, we want to live a better life. We want to be able to attract what and who we desire. More of that and less of what, who, and what we do not desire. So yes, 1K. Thank you so I know your tappy fingers. Thank you, love fingers. Thank you, goddess. I appreciate you. Wicked pleasure. How are you? So make sure as you come in, make sure you say, "Hey, love, hey." Don't be afraid whether you're visiting for a short time or not. I would love to greet you by name. And of course, if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the chat. And of course, it does not help for you to just like, for you to send some hearts, some thumbs up. And if you are not subscribe, which is absolutely free, it definitely helps me to expand, to grow the platforms, as you all may know, so we can reach more of us. Because the more we grow, the more we grow, right? This is not a just you or I thing, right? Contrary to popular belief, this is not all about you. This is not all about me. This is all about us. Nothing in the forest ever stands alone. So this whole ideology that we don't need one another is absolutely incorrect, right? And it has been leading a lot of us in this cocoon of seclusion, right? It's another thing to be in your cocoon and to be doing what you need to do to elevate, right? And there's a difference from going in your cocoon because you are under the impression and the belief, for very valid reasons, that there are no one that you can trust, that you can't rely on anyone, you can't depend on anyone, you can't trust anyone. And that is furthest from the truth. And so in self mastery, this is what I help you to understand. And I know we hearing a lot of people talking about self mastery now. Listen, kudos to you, right? If you're understanding. However, most of us are just regurgitating things that we've heard, and we don't really have a deeper understanding of it. One thing that I do dislike is that you have a lot of quote unquote self-proclaimed gurus jumping into lanes in which they are not an expert in to teach. And so it's one thing to be able to share a certain thing, but stop preaching and teaching about things you know not of, right? That's you're doing more harm than you're doing good. You're just further leading people astray, right? There's a lot of people who's hearing this term, and even though it's a relatively, pardon me, a relatively new term, right? You have to understand that what you consume, you become. And just because you trust a person to a degree. Just because you're familiar with a person to a degree, you also have to understand the things that they are talking about. And that's something that I'm extremely passionate about, because a lot of you are being led astray. A lot of you are being warped up, right, into these atmospheres, right, thinking that your quote unquote educators are teaching you something because they truly care about you. And for many of them, it's all about a dollar, right? It's all about a dollar, right? And so I'm all for positiveness and things like that. What I'm not for is the pretending, right? Peace, glitter, glitter bugs. Hi. Hi, Gabby and Roses. How are you? Beautiful, right? And so we have to understand this. As long as the only ones that can be unjustly manipulated are the ones that are easily persuaded, right? Just because someone may have more information than you do doesn't mean that they are coming from a sincere, a righteous place and guiding you and teaching you, right? I'm so sick of some individuals. I truly am. There's a lot of individuals who I see, even especially in these social media streets. Um, you know, I mean, I guess it's a compliment, but yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all, and I hear y'all. Just know that that's not your material, okay? If you're going to speak about something, at least give credit where it's due. So we're going to be talking about the keys to transforming your life. Dollface, how are you? That's a cute name. Inspired. Make sure you are saying, "Hey, love. Hey, don't be afraid. I won't bite." Okay, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tasha, how are you? Hi, beautiful. Hi, Anissa. How are you, my love? Right, and so we're gonna be getting into it. And first and foremost, let me let you all know, when you hear the term self mastery, so you have a better understanding, right? Because it's all about having an understanding as well as an understanding, as well as an overstanding, understanding, just so you can have um, more perspectives, because your perspectives and your perception is what shapes your reality. And so the more you open up your mind to embracing different perspectives, right, the higher you can go in many things. But if you have limited perspectives, you're going to be limited in what and who you attract, because your perception plays a big part in the frequencies that you're emitting. And a lot of us are unaware of what we're doing, right? A lot of us are unaware of what we're doing. Hi, beautiful. How are you? Hi, Yavi. How you doing, my love? So, when I talk about self mastery, what I mean is tapping into your divinity, tapping into your divine self. What I mean is by self mastery is living in your authentic truth. A lot of us are not living in authentic truth. So I'm just giving, for those of you who are just coming in, welcome in, and I appreciate you for taking time to invest in yourself, right? It's okay to be entertained. However, you do have to take time to invest in your self development. Consume things that is also going to elevate you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, definitely energetically on a frequency level. So these, I'm just sharing a couple of like synapses, just throwing out some words of what self mastery means, because you got a lot of people speaking about and throwing out these terms, and they themselves don't really have a deeper understanding of what that is. Mastering self means you are now taking control of how you think. You're a free thinker. You're taking control in who you are. You're taking control in what has been controlling you. What, even if it's your lower self, your surroundings, the people, places, right? Self mastery is a lot of things. Self mastery is understanding that you're not just a physical being, you're not just this avatar. It's self mastery is also understanding that you are triune in essence. Self mastery is also about reclaiming your authentic power, your inherited power, right? Understand, self mastery is about cutting the strings to your puppet master, because a lot of us are still puppeteers and we don't even realize it. right? And so when we hear certain people throwing around this term, the reasons as to why they cannot elaborate or express it in the ways that some of us are expressing it is because they don't have a deeper understanding of what it is. They're just hearing these terms, and it's just like, this is what's trending. Self mastery is not something that is trending. The epitome of self mastery is not something that is trending. Peace, Diane. How are you, my love? It has everything. People are jumping on the bandwagon because it's a quote unquote a trending topic. Talking about energy and frequency and metaphysical principles and universal laws and principles is not a thing. It's not a fad. It's not a trending topic, right? It goes a lot deeper than that. And so I want you all to be paying attention to those who are speaking of these things, but they're really attempting to dress up what they're really attempting to do, right? Because you cannot understand self-mastery if you're still attached to God concept outside of yourself. If you're still feeding and giving your invaluable essence and energy to man-made religions that was never created for you, you do not have a clue, and you don't have a clue what you're talking about. Why am I saying this? Because it's important, because a lot of you are being led astray. These are not just fancy terms. Understanding the art and practices of self-mastery isn't fancy terms. Understanding self-mastery, the things that many of us do teach, myself included, right? It's not about putting yourself in a position so you can get to the bag. That's not what it is. And you need to have this understanding for yourself. Right? That's what this is all about. So let me ask you a question, right? Before we get into, and we're going to be getting into this evening self-mastery, right? Today is SM Saturday Night Lives. It's all about self-mastery with me. It's all about giving you deeper understandings as to the core and catalyst reason as to why you're doing what you're doing. Peace, love, peace, Mel. How are you, love? Welcome in, right? Let me ask you this question, and you don't have to comment, even though I love when you engage with me, right? Because this is not a dictatorship. I come on here and I teach based upon not only my years of experience, my internal wisdom, as well as my external wisdom and the 15 plus years of my research. And I'm still learning and I'm sharing things with you. So do feel free to engage, right? This is how we grow. So your engagement is encouraged. I want to ask you something, and it's important that you be transparently honest with yourself. How are you doing the inner work? When we say I'm doing the work, when we say I'm isolated, when we say we're decentering whomever or whatever, when we say we're doing a shadow work, when we say we are in a healing process, we're not even going to get into, right? Language semantics. Language semantics. We're not even going to get into that, which plays a huge part, right? Getting back to the focus. Ask yourself, what are you doing? Because if you're speaking something, I'm healing, I'm healed, I'm doing the work, and the work consists of you just doing home. Peace, Nina, how are you? Welcome in. That's not doing the work. You know why so many of us, right, are saying that we're healing, or saying that we're in the process of healing? I'm still on my healing journey, right? Outside of you reversing the effects that you actually want when you say things like that. You know, one of the main reasons as to why we're not moving forward. Good evening, my love, right? Why we're still receiving the same works. How? You ever ask yourself these questions? How are you doing in the work? How are you in a healing process, on a healing journey for plus years? And one of the cliches, one of the quotes that many of us say is that, oh, time heals all wounds. Remember, I said in the beginning, perception. Your perception and your perspective play a huge part in how you not only associate with something, but how you respond or react to something. also what you bring into your life. That's my question. What does it mean to you when you say you're doing the work? How are you still on your healing journey years later? What that isolation really looking like? What that decentralizing men or women or society really look like? What is you abstaining from certain things? Is it real? What is it looking like? Because you know what isn't going to lie to you outside of energy and frequency, the receipts of your reality. What's your reality looking like? Right? And no matter what we say, we all see, we all hear and sense if we're paying attention that a lot of us are living in this unhealthy delusional reality. Nothing is really changing. Lovely, how are you, beautiful? Nothing is really changing. And if nothing is really changing, right, according to what, who you want, need, and or desire, at what point do you be transparently honest with yourself and you say, you know what? There's something that's missing. I'm missing something. Know this. It is literally impossible for you to create new behavior patterns with the old mental programming. You need new information to create new behaviors, to create new results in your life. Does that make sense? So, how are you doing the work with no information? And then, if you acquire the information, why aren't you applying it? Perfect sense. Ashe, Nina, thank you so much for your participation. I love that. Sincere gratitude. It's one thing to obtain the information, it's another thing to apply it. Knowledge is power. It is. Knowledge is absolute infinite power. However, it doesn't become powerful until you apply it. A lot of us, many of us are doing the first step and we're not doing the second step because of a vast amount of reasons. You have to, one part, you have to receive new information, allow it to be reprogrammed, and then you have to actually apply it. So we're not doing that. And the results of not doing the second part is you attracting more of what and who you do not desire, right? And so something needs to change with that. And I say it all the time, Air Money, I appreciate the support and the follow. If you're not evolving, you're devolving. If you're not expanding, you're self-destructing. It looks different for many of us. But it is the absolute undesirable truth for many of us as well. Thank you for the taps. Let's continue the taps. That's the only thing I'll ever ask for you is for you to just taps, show love, share the live, right? That's all. It's free. It's free. You're a beautiful woman. I want to learn. Nina, infinite gratitude, my love. I appreciate you, right? And so we're going to be getting into some tips, right? Many of your wants, many of your needs, many of your desires, no matter what it is, and it's healthy to desire. It's healthy to desire. It's healthy to want to grow. It's healthy to expand. It's healthy to want to live whatever life you want to live as long as it's pure intentions and it's within righteousness, right? Even if you want more money, it's healthy for you to want more money. It's unhealthy for you to continually chase money and make money the center of your being, your happiness, your joy, right? And so there's always a perfect harmony. There's always a perfect balance. There's nothing without the other. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot experience one without the other. There is always going to be the opposites. I'm speaking about metaphysical principles. There's always going to be the opposites, and we need to understand that. You cannot expect to experience joy without also experience suffering at some point. It's unhealthy, it's unnatural, and it's literally impossible. And the sooner you learn to accept these things, not only accept it, as soon as you learn these things, start to reprogram And this is why we need each other, because you need guidance, right? And this is why I'm here. So no matter what you want, need, and or desire, the reasons as to why they are not coming to fruition, the reason is because you do not understand neuroscience. You do not understand as of yet chemistry and biology to the degree that is going to help aid you into changing the dynamics and the trajectory of your life. What do you mean by feeling? What do you mean by universal principle? What do you mean by neuroscience? What do you mean by biology and chemistry? Because all of these things have everything to do with you. Your biology, your makeup, your DNA, right? Your spirit, your essence, the chemistry, chemicals. What do you think emotions are? Energy and motion, they are chemicals. What do you think that stimulates, stimuli? All of these things have everything to do with you. And you don't have to become a philosopher of all of these things, but at least know the fundamental foundation of these things, because it's you. So you've learned how to use your fingers. You learned what your fingers is, what it do. You learned the different members of your body. You learned what the heart do, surface level, foundationally, right? You learn how to drive a car. You learn what the acronyms. You know that D means drive and R means reverse. You know that neutral means neutral. You know all of these things, but most of these things you've been programmed to know still doesn't give you the information that is going to take you to the next level. It's not, because there's too many of us that are suffering from depression, deep states of depression, anxiety, loneliness, separation, isolation. Autism mom, how are you, love? Peace. Peace, twin, how are you? Abstract mind, how are you, my love? Right? Autism mom, thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate all your support. That's again, make sure you tap the screen, share those positive energies, baby, because remember what I just said, there is no one without the other. What you give is what you receive. So if you ever have an opportunity to give something that literally cost you ounces of your divine essence and energy, give, because it's going to return to you in ways you probably can't possibly imagine. The smallest of things matter. Every decision you make matters, no matter how minute it is, no matter how red it is. This is another way for you to begin attracting more of what and who you desire, because what you give, you receive in a large sense, right? And so not only do we lack the information that we need as far as having the keys to transform your life, we do not yet know the how. And this is what I am teaching you. Whenever I come live Saturday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm always educating you on self-mastery tips, right? Right? This is what I do. Peace, Ace, how are you? So it's one thing to learn the information, and it's another thing to apply the information. And I absolutely have, right, a presentation. So for those of you who may not know, when I do self-mastery lives, most times I have a presentation. So if you want to, you can hop on over to YouTube. My channel is All Things Self-Mastery, and I'm going to be showing you. I have a presentation for you, right? Because when you understand that, when you incorporate the different styles of learning, when you're visually learning, when you're audibly learning, oh, I think the word is auditory or auditorily learning, right? When you're writing, all of these things is a tip and a trick and a tip and a tool to help you reprogram your mental database, right? What I mean by mental database, your mental database, it's what's dictating your behaviors. Hence the way your reality is created, right? And so if you want to, you're more than welcome to, right? And so images help. You seeing, visually seeing. Why do you think marketing is a $1 trillion industry or $1 billion industry, whatever they want to say, right? Why do you think subliminal messages is a profound psychological tactic? Kiara, thank you Kiara, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you. Subscribing is free. Subscribing is free. Help me to grow. Help us to grow, because that is absolutely my intention, to grow. Because the more of us know, the more of us grow. What you feed your attention to, what you focus on, that's what's going to develop. We have enough riffraff. We have enough nonsense. And I'm not saying go cold turkey with entertaining foolishness, especially people, places, and things. That's not going to help you. What I am saying is that at least pull back a little bit, long enough for you to realize that, baby, a lot of y'all hurting yourselves in so many ways. But what they say, we gonna F around and find out. And a lot of y'all ain't prepared for the consequences that you're creating. Right? When we talk about being responsible and being accountable, I know that looks different for everybody. I know that looks different for everybody. However, I want y'all to understand this. Please understand this. Everything that everybody do, including you, if you are a being on this planet, if you are a human being on this planet, if you are a soul on this planet, let me tell you something. If you think that everything you do and everything that other people do isn't going to affect you to some degree, you are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Right? And I'm not saying that everybody on the planet has to sit in a circle and sing kumbaya, because that's not only unrealistic, it's not universally practical. It's not a universal science. So I understand that, right? What you feed will gain power, and what you starve will lose power. What do you think when something is being fed, even if it's negative or positive? What do you think what do you think is going to happen? The same way we have energy centers, some called chakras, the same way the planet, the earth, the globe, the universe has it. What do you think you're doing when the majority and the masses are feeding low frequency energies? Do you not think that's going to impact you to some degree? So when we talk about being responsible, when we talk about being accountable, what do you think that is? What do you think that looks like? And this is what I mean by we're still so attached to the physical, we're not understanding spiritual, higher spiritual, and universal principles and laws. We're not, because we're doing some of the most foolish things ever. And a lot of you are stupidly, with all due respect, ignorantly, unknowingly, immaturely feeding so many negative frequencies and energies. Is absolutely pathetic. Yet we claim, oh, we're gods and we're goddesses and we're kings and queens and we're real men and real women, whatever the hell that means, because that sounds retarded. What the hell is a real man? What the hell is a real woman? What do you mean? I mean, you're not Pinocchio. What the hell does that even mean? We are saying things and we're not even understanding the impact that is making on our life, in our life, and in the lives of our loved ones. How are you being responsible and accountable? Meanwhile, you keep devolving and you're dragging other people with you. You know, I witnessed something really, really sad with so many people who just have, I mean, I think one of the craziest things that microphones was just handed out like licenses to people who can't drive at all. One of the things that is so disturbing is to see other women laugh at another person's pain and sorrow. One of the sickening things is to see another man or men laughing at the expense of another man's pain and sorrow. Minister, how are you? So, Myra, how are you, my love? Do you understand how sick that is? How sick you are? Condoning and laughing at other people's pain. There's people, Mr. Is that, hi, Mr. How are you, my love? Bilbrey, is that what it is? Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Infinite gratitude. Thank you so much for following, for supporting, I should say. Thank you so much for supporting. Because I don't consider y'all followers. I'm not interested in followers. I'm interested in sharing with light and like minds. So pardon me. Thank you so much for the support. Sincere gratitude. That is extremely sad. How do you think you're going to dish things, constantly dish out things, and you're not expected to receive it? So it's okay for you to laugh at other people's pain. It's okay for you to drag other men and women. But it's okay when your turn comes up. So it's okay for you to do all of these things. It's okay for you to do all of these things, but then you're off limits. It's incredibly sad that so much of the social media that we consume is not for information or educational purposes. Mwah. Thank you so much, beautiful. It's one thing to just keep abreast of information. You can even watch and stuff for what? How am I speaking hate speech? What did I just say? But if I was on here bashing people, right, it'll absolutely be okay. This is why it's important for y'all to listen. Let me tell you something. Please make sure, I encourage you, please make sure you support me and connect with me on other platforms, right? All the information is in my bio, by the way, right? Because sometimes it really gets annoying. I don't like walking on eggshells and things that I say. What I speak is righteous, period. And some of these is sickening, but however, we're going to continue with the messages. Make sure you are connected with me on other platforms, because when it comes down to individuals who are sincere and righteous and wanting to be just an assistance to you, to help guide you, to give you righteous, right? Just information, to inspire, to just be that person, contrary of what people say. There are genuine, trustful people that have integrity, that we're just not speaking of having integrity. There are people out here like me that you should be in connect with. You should be, because it matters in more ways than you do. Love is being condemned. I agree with you. Bill. And it's on many levels, it is. Pardon me. It goes back to saying, remember when I said what you feed will gain power and what you starve will lose power? These are some of the manifestations of so many of us willingly, knowingly or unknowingly, feeding all of these low frequency entities, people, places, and things. These are the manifestations of it. Why do you think the universe is stepping in? Why do you think Mother Nature is stepping in? Why do you think our ancestors are stepping in? Why do you think we're constantly seeing or reflecting, right? Witnessing the destruction of so many people, places, and things? It's always deeper than what we think, right? Soul self mastery is all about tapping into your highest frequency. And you cannot help yourself and help the planet, help the environment, help the world continually making foolish decisions in your life. Why do you have to hit the wall or hit rock bottom or get to your lowest for you to understand that you can make a different choice? And to know that you don't have to do it alone. Why does it have to get to that point? Why do people that's kind of rhetorical for me because I understand psychology to a high a level, right? And the same way you can do if you did your due diligence, the universe will not let you be quiet. Ashe. Listen, it's going to get out because it's supposed to get out. Nothing happens by luck, coincidence, or happenstance. And when you understand that, you're here for one of your divine purposes. You are here because we are magnetic. We are magnetizing. We attracted each other. Do you understand? So, whatever I'm saying, there's something very specific for you. It is up to you to be aware of it, for you to pay attention to it. How many warnings and signals do you need? How many postcards do you need to be sent to you to encourage you to start changing your ways, to start being truly accountable, to stop laughing at other people's pain, stop destroying you? You desensitizing, quote unquote, which is so foolish, calling yourself, I'm desensitizing myself from men. I don't want men a part of my life. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to eat with them. I don't want to cook with them. I don't want to make love to them. I don't want to sex them. I don't want their money. I don't want their babies. I don't want, do you understand how you are causing yourself further destruction? And it's the same for the men. I don't want a woman in my life. I don't want a divine feminine. They too masculine. They too this. They're not being responsible. I don't want their babies. I don't want their problems. Do you understand what you're really saying? How in the world? Tell me, how do you think you can separate yourself from your shadow? Do you know that every living, breathing, infinite being, entity on this earth is connected? We are all connected. We're just in different expressions. We just operate differently, right? Trees are souls. Nature is souls. Plants have souls. They have living frequency within them. They create life. Water is life. Everything is conscious. It's just expressed in a different avatar. How are you not respecting you? It's so sickening, some of the things that we do. Yeah, you don't want to hear the undesirable truth, but it's okay, because that's what you need. Because too many of y'all are guzzling sugar. Y'all guzzling that white powder. Guzzling it. Some of y'all need to be sipping on some tree bark syrup so you can get your whole entire life in order, right? That's just what it is. The not so secret to alignment and manifestation. You know what the not so secret is when it comes to attracting and manifestation? And for those of you may not know, my latest book, Attracting What and Who You Desire, all of this information that I'm speaking about and more and in depth is in that ebook. If you're interested, click the link in the bio. Invest in yourself. The not so secret key to alignment, manifestation, magnetism, you attracting, you pulling more of what and who you actually want in your desire, right? Is you have to understand heart and brain coherent, heart and mind coherent, right? Your feelings have to become greater than what you think. It has to match. It has to be in alignment with it. A lot of you wait for you to experience something in order for you to feel the emotion of it, the feeling of it. So you want the man or the woman to come into your life before you can experience or feel love. You want the money to be in your hands before you experience the feelings of having money and being wealthy. You want to travel to wherever you want to travel, right? Without visualizing and feeling, knowing, seeing yourself already traveling. You don't pull things toward you. You don't become a magnet to things that you simply think about. Your emotion and your feeling, which many of you know now, emotions are, you're absolutely correct. Energy and motion. You have to feel the energy of it in order to bring it to you. This is the not so secret key. And I know that many of you don't understand it's because there'll be less itching and moaning and complaining and justifications and rhymes and reasons as to why, if you're transparently honest with yourself, right? As to why. And this is what I'm teaching you. So this is also what self-mastery is about, right? Another key to transforming your life is knowing you have to let go. In order for you to become the woman or man that you desire, in order for you to become what you desire, right? And that can be more spiritual, that could be wealthier, that could be having more opportunities available to you, that could be more peaceful. Whatever it is you want to become, for whatever reason, you have to learn how to let go. In order for you to create something, you need to have creativity. You need available energy to create with. How do you think you're going to go to the bank and withdraw $1,000 and you only got $1 in there? You see how crazy that sounds? That sounds absolutely crazy and asinine, doesn't it? But many of us are operating like that. You have to have something in order to withdraw from it. And a lot of you have your money tied up, i.e., your energy tied up in the past. And you do not realize it. Not letting go is perhaps one of the main reasons as to why so many of us are self-destructing, self-sabotaging, losing our ever-loving God, Goddess, spiritual, highest minds to the point of no return. Letting go keeps you energetically unaligned. No wonder you're not pulling in what and who you desire, pulling towards you. Not letting go keeps you mentally enslaved, holding on to the same behaviors, holding on to the same beliefs, the same concept, and then outwardly, whether you aware or unaware, just lying to yourself, justifying, making excuses, always in defense mode. Stop being defensive when you have genuine people attempting to tell you the undesirable truth that you absolutely need. Let me tell you something. TT algorithm is definitely attempting to mess around with this message, but return to sender. Okay? Return to sender. It's hard, Fanta says, it's hard for most to think greater than they feel. I know that's the truth. It does get challenging at times, right? However, it can be a lot less challenging if you have the information that you need. For all of those who are just joining me, welcome. This is All Things Self-Mastery Podcast. I am Venus, Agoddess. Make sure you subscribe. It's absolutely free. Give a like, give a heart. Support positive messages instead of drama. That's what I asked of you. We're talking about transitioning. We're talking about the keys to transforming your life. I'm a self-mastery mentor, solutionist. I've been teaching these things for 15 plus years, right? So if you're just joining us, pardon me, this is what we're covering. Peace, life coach Lay. How are you? Right? I'm Alex. How are you? Right? So not letting go keeps you susceptible, liable to be influenced and persuaded by anything and everything, especially when it doesn't serve your purposes. There are always consequences to every decision. There's always consequences. Peace design. How are you, my love? Not letting go to become the version of you that you really want to become keeps you bound to your past. It causes you to continually self-destruct, imploding from the inside, right? It keeps you in a victim state. It keeps you trapped in your past. It keeps you in survival mode. It keeps you powerless. And we do those things because we don't really understand cause and effects, the effects of not letting go. I'm not talking about you just saying, oh, I let go, I'm healed from that. No, you're not. It's time to be transparently honest. It's time to be transparently honest, beautiful souls. Because a lot of y'all ain't as healed as you think. A lot of y'all have not done the work as much as you said you done the work. Because your results are still the same, even worse. Right? It's time to get transparently honest with ourselves. You're missing pieces of the puzzle. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, energetically, financially, frequency wise. Not letting go affects you in all of these areas. And it's going to continue to do that unless you first invest in finding an expert in the area in which you want to develop in, mature and grow in, learning the information how to reverse engineer your mental program, the one that's influencing your behaviors, how you react and how you respond to people, places, and things, environments in your life, higher or lower. And then how to apply these things so you can finally set yourself free. So you can finally set yourself free. What are you gaining by continually repeating and engaging in the same foolish conversations over and over and over and over again? How long are you going to keep fighting the quote unquote devil? And I say that with all due respect. My religious brothers and sisters, y'all have been fighting the same enemy, the same devil for centuries now. Logically, wouldn't that encourage you to ask yourself some deep questions? But no, because too many of us like to play the victim. Too many of us don't want to be responsible and accountable, because asking certain questions means that now you have to take accountable. Now you have to take account. Now you have to be responsible for your decisions. You can't just go do the things that you want to do, knowing you stop being in denial about how it affects you and others. You can't keep giving it to the altar, laying it at the altar. You just can't keep blaming it on the devil, blaming it on God, or blaming it on whatever and whoever you keep blaming your responsibilities on, your decisions. How long is it going to be the enemy's fault as to why you're not where you are, as to what's going on in your life? How long is it going to be your parents' fault? How long is it going to be your siblings' fault? How long is it going to be your past fault? How long is it going to be the government's fault? How long is it going to be the systematic systems fault? How long, baby, before you really start to take accountability? Before you really know the issues it's you. The issue is never no one else when you have a deeper understanding. Peace, Dr. Cosmic. How are you, my love? I hope you and your family are doing absolutely amazing. Divine Goddess, thank you so much for sharing the live. Mwah. Miss you, Dr. Cosmic. I hope your baby, especially the little one, I hope your bundle, I know, they've grown so much. How long are you going to keep blaming other people, places, and things as to why you're not where you want to be? I mean, come on, let's face it. Are you the victim or the victor? Because victims constantly complain. Victims never take responsibility and accountability. Victims do that. The last time I checked, victors are the one to be like, you know what? That's the decision that I made. I'm glad you're doing great. I'm phenomenal. Thank you so much for asking. Ashe. Infinite enlightenment and love to you always. Right? Thank you so much for supporting the live and sharing it out, Goddess. Right? How long are we going to keep playing this game? Because what you don't know is hurting you. Ashe, what you don't know is hurting you. I don't know who ever created that quote. What you don't know won't hurt you. That is an absolute deception. What you don't know is hurting you. You not understanding your triune essence, your physical, your mind, your soul, your body, your spirit. You not understanding you is hurting you. It's keeping you acting like a bottom feeder. It's keeping you acting like you're powerless. It's keeping you acting like you're deaf, dumb, blind, and docile all at the same time. It's keeping you ignorant. It's keeping you real low. It's keeping you dysfunctional. Choose what you're gonna be. It can't be just cute for you to say these things. It can't be just cute for you to say, I'm a god, I'm a goddess, I'm a king, I'm a queen, I'm a real man, I'm a real woman, I'm a child of God, or I'm a child of this, and I'm a, I'm my answer, and all of these different things. When do you actually step into that? When do you actually know the difference from saying you're powerful and actually being powerful and not having to broadcast it on the top of the hill? Ashe? What you don't know is hurting you. You not understanding parts of you, what have something to do with you, is hurting you. You not understanding your chemical makeup, your biological makeup to a degree. You not understanding metaphysical universal principles and laws. You not understanding frequency to a higher degree or more than what you currently know. You not understanding emotions as much as you need to. You're not understanding nutrition and food as much as you need to. What you don't know is hurting you. And it's not to say you have to know everything about everything, but you do have to know enough and what you need to know according to the level and the season that you are in, because you are responsible not only to yourself but to the universe, and you're responsible to others because everything that you do matters. You can accept that or you don't, but it matters. Peace, Omega. How are you, my love? Everything you do matters, and everything you do is going to affect not only the universe, the world, the planet, the globe, the environment is going to affect one another, right? Yes, it does matter. From the smallest to the grandest of decisions, it matters. Do you know I can influence someone's energy in another country? Do you know that if there are more of us, do you know that if there are more of us who is vibrating on the same frequency and the same wavelength, can make a deeper impact and influence people across the globe? Yes, everything you do matters. It matters mentally, it matters energetically, it matters emotionally, it matters physically, it matters spiritually, it matters. Are you asking yourself some very important questions? Peace, Robbie. How are you, love? Dr. Shaka, how are you? Right? Asking yourself some important questions. And if you're just joining me, welcome in. I appreciate you. Please note, I think TikTok algorithm, for reasons that I know of, is kind of glitching. So pardon me if it's doing if it's glitching excessively, right? Start asking yourself some very important questions. But if you are here, please, I encourage you to share some taps, some love, some hearts. That also helps to counteract what we know Auntie Titi is doing, right? Because we know the energies that be, right? So when you tap, when you comment, when you like, when you share, we're not going to fight against a system. It is. We just going to play chess with it. Let's bust a move, okay? For all my chess play, hi, beautiful. Like we just gonna counteract it. They move there, we gonna move here. So that's another way for you to, for us to, you know what I'm saying? Let's do our part. Let's do our part, right? This let's assist one another. We in this together. Let's start asking ourselves some important questions. If you're just coming in, this is self mastery Saturday Night Lives. Many of you know me. For those of you who don't, welcome to the family. I'm Venus Agoddess. Welcome to Masters of Self, right? We got to get to mastering ourselves, not only saying that, but understanding what it is. Who are you now? Because a lot of us are who everybody else encouraged us to be, whether they had pure intentions or impure intentions. Who are you now? Are you happy with him or her? Are you happy with him or her? Are you past happy? Are you joyful with him or her? Without all of the external things. If you didn't have the accolades, if you didn't have the material possessions, if you didn't have certain relationships, if you wasn't geographically where you wanted to be, if you wasn't without, if you were without many of these things, are you feeling joy and bliss 80% of the time you rise to the time you rest and repeat? Because if you ain't, it's it's time to start getting serious with yourself. Are you completely transparently honest with yourself? Who do you want to become? Have you reevaluated where you are? How are you going anywhere without the address to the destination? How are you getting to the destination without the address? How are you building an architectural structure if you do not have the blueprint? When is the last time you reassessed where you are mentally, spiritually, energetically, emotionally, when is the last time you reassess where you are? How are you going anywhere if you have never created a blueprint? I ain't gonna speak too much on that because we'll be going over that in the Rise of a Goddess. That's an self mastery exercise that I actually teach. So I ain't gonna give too much, right? But if you interested in learning what Rise of a Goddess Virtual University is, it's exclusively for women. I'm not here to promote those things, but it is important that I let you know that I have and offer services that could definitely benefit you. When is the last time you reassessed? My goodness, if they get any more annoying. When is the last time you reassessed? Hi Melly, how are you, love? Johnny D, when is the last time you reassessed where you are? When is the last time you reassessed the what and why you want it? I'm talking about the core, the transparent reasons as to what and why you want whatever it is. Because a lot of y'all want a relationship so you can be served and not of service. Be honest with yourself, transparently honest with yourself. Because a lot of y'all are delusional. Some of y'all want the benefits of having a significant other just so you can be served and not be of service. It's more for what they can do for you instead of what you can do for them, what y'all can do for each other. A lot of y'all want money just for more materialistic things, and you're not even satisfied. The things that you have don't even bring you joy and bliss. You want more and more and more and more and more. And what happens when you want an excessive amount of anything? Not only are you addicted to that thing, it also energetically, psychologically implies that you're not satisfied. You're not satisfied. Whatever it is, it's just not doing it. Kiara says, how many books do you have for purchase? I actually have written 3 books. One was a bestseller. All of them are in the link in my bio. Pardon me. The latest book that I did, the last book that I did, is Attracting What and Who You Desire. But if you click the link, all of the books that I've written are in PDF pardon me, on my site. So it is the third book, and I actually have other books that I'm working on. But yes, peace. Psychology Pop. How are you, love? You're absolutely welcome, Kiara, and infinite gratitude for your love and support. The book is absolutely profound. I've gotten a lot of great feedback from it. A lot of the things that I talk about, I go into depth. I mean, of course, that's not the 15 plus years, but it really breaks down a lot of the self mastery information and knowings that I teach, and I break it down in very practical steps that you can apply, that you can understand in layman terms. A many of that, right? And so we definitely have to understand that. Some of the other main reasons why you're not attracting is because your frequency is in HELL. When I say HELL, I don't mean a literal place with fire. Pardon me. I don't mean a literal place with fire. I mean the lowest possible frequency, what some call in your lower chakra, in your lower nature. That's what I'm speaking of. I'm speaking about when you are unintelligent, when you don't have the information. I'm speaking about your lowest vibration. I'm speaking about if you are still embodying contempt and hatred and anger and dysfunction. All of those things have a frequency. Everything has frequency. Everything is energy. Everything is ever moving, ever in motion. We just call frequency and energy by name. We call energy and frequency a mouse. We call energy and frequency a mic. We call energy and frequency by feelings and emotion. We have names to these things, but I want you to understand that they are frequencies. They are not just names, they are frequencies, and everything has a frequency. Everything, to the materialistic things, to the spiritual things, to the planet, to nature, to all of the birds, to all of the animals, to all of everything has a frequency. Everything. The earth has a natural frequency, and these are indisputable facts. And I always encourage you, but do your own due diligence and make sure you are researching, maybe not in depth, but make sure you are researching this information to yourself. I never ever want you to just take my full word for it. Now, a lot of you have trusted me, and I sincerely, infinitely appreciate it. However, I always want you to do your due diligence as well, right? A lot of the information that I give you is up to date, still indisputable facts, truths. They're not opinions, they're not perspectives, they're not ideologies, they're not just concepts, they're not just philosophies. These are indisputable facts, proven facts beyond, right? Beyond exclusion. And we have to understand this. You have to know that one of the reasons why you're not attracting what and who you desire is because your frequency isn't where it needs to be on whatever it is that you want, need, and or desire. So if you're talking about you want a divine love, whatever type of love that you're saying you want, and especially if it's a healthy love, especially if it's just a pure love, you're not ever going to attract that if you don't understand that you have to match that same frequency. And not only match it, you have to cultivate it. You do not maintain or keep what you do not cultivate. This is why a lot of you are experiencing what I call in terms the ping pong effect. You get it, you lose it. You get it, you lose it. 1 minute you up, 1 minute you down, 1 minute you up, 1 minute you down, 1 minute you right, 1 minute you left, 1 minute you right, 1 minute you left, 1 minute you right, 1 minute you wrong. It should not be, even though there are polarities and there's dualities, there's always one with the other, not one without the other, right? There's a harmony and there's a balance. You have to understand that that ping pong effect in your life is unnatural. It is natural to, however, to experience both sides of the spectrum, right? That's absolutely natural, but you keep playing ping ponging. That's unnatural. That's an indicator that something is unhealthy, something is wrong, something is unright, something needs your attention. It's unhealthy for you to be happy 1 minute, sad the next, happy 1 minute, sad the next, 1 minute you up. Do you know almost all diseases that we experience? Thank you, Nina. That we experience. Bringa, thank you so much for the support and the follow. A lot of those are simply chemical imbalances. Some of it comes from our bodies being acidic, having a lot of mucus in our bodies, right? No disease can exist in the body without mucus, and no disease and disease can exist in the body, right? That is alkaline. No disease or disease can exist in the body if your frequency is where it need to be. When your frequency is low, and just because you're laughing and smiling and joking don't mean you have a high frequency. That's a misconception. People joke and fake and smile and ha 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 and be lying all the time. Just because you look like something don't mean you are that something. Just because you know how to perform doesn't mean you are the main character. Just because you can act don't make you an actress or an actor. Metaphors that apply, yes, absolutely. So we have to understand it. So that's what I mean. Your frequency is an HELL. Also, when I say that, it means your lower mind. You cannot elevate no higher than the information that you currently have in your mental database. And I point to here, but what I really am pointing to is what you cannot see, what you cannot feel, taste, it's invisible, it's intrinsic. You cannot see your unconscious database. You cannot literally see all the wiring until you break that thing apart. So when people say, oh, I'm healing, I'm on my healing journey, baby, have you busted it open? Have you unscrewed it? Have you taken it apart? Have you dissected it? No. You can bathe all you want and use whatever type of detergent, astringent, body wash you want, and it will definitely clean your body, baby. But it will never clean your insides if you are filthy. If your insides are filthy, baby, shampooing your body, washing your body is not the same. What are you really doing? Are you really doing the work? When you say you're isolating yourself, when you say you're on your healing journey, right? And then with all due respect, there's so many people still, it's about the money, it's about the money, it's about the money, it's about the money. It's about relationship, it's about relationship, it's about relationship. Let me show you how to get the man or the woman. Let me show you how to keep the man or the woman. Let me show you how to be feminine, even though I don't have a clue as to what femininity actually is. When I don't have a clue to what masculinity truly is. But let me show you how to be masculine, how to be feminine. Let me show you how to be a woman, how to be a man. Let me show you how to be a soft feminine. Let me show you how to speak to him or her. Let me show you how to snatch this. How's that working for you, baby? How's that working for you? We have more femininity, masculinity, relationship coaches and gurus, and I'm not speaking to all of them, because some of them are absolutely pure in their intentions and some of them are absolutely impure in their intentions. And I said what she said. You focus on doing surface level work so you can do what? Jermaine, peace, how are you? So you can do what? Attract him or her and do what? Baby, all the soft talking, all the pink, all the catering, all, and not to say that any of these things are unhealthy. They're I'm not saying that they are unbeneficial. However, the intent in which you are doing it and putting in the work matters, because that's what's going to ultimately dictate the results. This is why a lot of us are miserable, broken, and disturbed and dysfunctional now. At one point, it was the men, and now it's the women. It's the men and the women, and it's never you. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? Your focus, even if you're in a relationship, in a marriage, if you're not experiencing a healthy dynamic 80% of the time, in every season you're in, if you're wanting to be in a relationship and you don't have a harmonious balance within yourself, your focus should not be engaging in any relationship. You shouldn't even be thinking about dating. You shouldn't be thinking about marriage to the degree in which we do. Because you isolating yourself from the world, that's not doing the work. That's not doing the work. What new information do you have? Because all I hear is a lot of the same thing that's getting you the same results. The same results. And isn't that oxymoronish? Why would you keep repeating the same grade in life? Why would you keep knowingly repeating the same situation the same over and over and over again? And then when somebody say you insane, you think they're crazy, right? We're not in alignment. We're ignorant of universal laws, knowingly or unknowingly. We don't really understand who we are. And we have a lot of uneducated, misguided teachers out here that's literally causing you to further destruct. And you're not realizing it. Right? What you don't know is hurting you. Mo, how are you? How are you, love? Right? So we have to understand these things. Understanding your divinity with every level in life. With every infinite soul cycle, you should be elevating, you should be expanding. One of our primary functions, one of our primary goals, one of our primary purposes to do as living, infinite, powerful beings, organisms, is to expand. And if you're not doing one, you're doing the other. Make no mistake. If you're not doing one, you're doing the other. There is no such thing as literally just standing still. Because making no decision, making no conscious decision, you're still making an unconscious decision, right? Mama, how are you, my love? Peace, Catlin, right? And so let's be mindful. Let's start to be more aware. Let's really start taking steps forward. Let's really start doing what we are supposed to do. And many of us don't understand what language. Remember, I told you everything is frequency. Many of us heard that spells are spelling, words are spells, spelling, different things like that. Many of us heard about generational, some say some say curses, some say behavior patterns, all of these different things, which are very relevant. However, it goes a lot deeper than that. And understand, again, you can only elevate. You can only elevate as high as the information that you have, right? So we have to understand that we're not just this physical. We're not just the avatar. We are soul, spirit, mental, and physical. And in order to tap into your, whether you call it God, goddess, self, your oneness, this finite, infinite energy source, baby, you got to go inward. Everything that happens externally first happens internally, right? But if you're not aware of your external, your environment, baby, what you doing? I'm not even going to go to the stages of personal growth and consciousness, but that actually matters. For those of you who are in the YouTube land, this is a picture of the ebook that I was speaking to. It has 11 powerful chapters that can absolutely help you in many, many ways. When we're talking about the keys to transforming your life, you must understand that you have to be aware of the energies, frequency, the memories, quote unquote, all of these things. You have to learn how to let them go. A lot of you still hold contempt in your body. A lot of you still hold trauma in your body because you're still attached to the experience. So no wonder you cannot create. No wonder things are not changing as you desire. Right? And then when you feel yourself or witness yourself or become aware that you were reactive to someone that triggered you. Now it's like, yeah, but this is what, and now here comes the river of excuses, justifications, rhymes, and reasons. If you are still reactive to an emotion, you are still holding on to that frequency. And a lot of those frequencies are anger, contempt, bitterness, jealousy. Woe is me. The victim, free, all of these, you're still holding on to them, right? They're still controlling you instead of you controlling it. And that's an issue that only you can resolve. That's an issue that only you can resolve, right? We still hold envy and jealousy and doubt and insecurities. We're still holding this self-loathing attitude within us. We're still holding these traumas in our bodies and we have no clue. You can't create. You are unable to create because you don't have available energy to create with. Right? You saying that you forgave your past, quote unquote, let's just say victimizers. Let's say that anybody who ever did you wrong, put you in a very uncomfortable situation. You undergone some very horrific things. Let's say you keep saying, "Oh, I've forgiven, I've forgiven, I've forgiven." You understand what I'm saying? And I healed and I'm over it. Meanwhile, you're saying things like, "It's a woman's fault. Women are the reason for this. Men are the reason for that." You never hold yourself accountable for anything. Oh, shucks. That was the wrong thing. I'm trying to get to your message. Here we go. What do you tell someone that's trying to transform that has trauma from SA? One of the main things that I say, love, is that you need to invest. Author KL, thank you so much for the support and follow. One of the main things I tell individuals like that is to find someone who is an expert in that area that you resonate with, that you relate to, right? And seek out, reach out to them and to see if they are further a best fit for you to help you in that area. Right? But you're already one step closer to really figuring it out and really changing it. Right? There is something that I teach among the many self-mastery exercises. There's one that I teach, and it's called reversing or cutting or severing the cord, right? And something that entails is that reversing the conception of where it began, the memory, right? verbally and other different things. But that's the one thing, because on foundationally, intimately, specifically, I would never just give haphazard advice, like things like that, because everybody's situation is different. I don't know yet how much weight is there, right? But there are different ways in which you can absolutely reverse that, right? There's different ways, and you can actually take power over it instead of it taking power over you, especially because I relate to that. I've experienced that more than a few times in my life, right? So not only do I understand it because I've been through it, I've mastered all of the frequencies that came with it. So even though I it's the thought, the memory, right? The frequency is still there. It no longer has power over me. A lot, some more than far too many of us think that when you're in the process of healing, or when you saying you're doing meditation or you're doing the work, it means that you completely dissolve the memory or the That's not how it works. You don't get to delete, quote unquote, all the experiences that you had. It's not about deleting the memories. It's not about deleting the traumas. It's not about deleting all of the experience. It's not about acting like they never happened. It's about taking control over it instead of it controlling you. So now, if and when that ever comes up, and while you're traveling through your journey, you can very well speak about it. You can very well entertain the thought briefly without it taking power over you and without it dictating how you act and how you respond to life and to people. You understand? Right? So it's not about deleting anything. That's a misconception. It's about reclaiming the power. It's about you controlling it instead of it controlling you. And these are the things that I teach my mentees, and these are the things that I teach the women in ROA University. Right? And, if you're interested, check it out, because the members of the ROA, one of the benefits to joining Rise of a Goddess Academy, which is on, I think it's $19 a month membership. You have to, of course, you have to invest in yourself. And I don't even have to say, I'm not going to say that, because everybody's situation is different. However, it is a very small investment. Not only you get 2 master lessons and you get access to the All Things Self-Mastery book club, right? You get tons of other benefits. You also get a one-on-one session with me, complimentary, right? And that's valued over $100, right? And I offer that because I'm very serious and passionate about truly helping. So if you're interested, make sure you look into that, because it's time out for us making excuses, justification, rhymes, or reason, right? A lot of people say we're healed, we doing the work, but then the way you act and the way you respond is not in parallel with a person that is in a healthy state. You're constantly making the same types of decisions, and then finding yourself having to now defend yourself, justifying your behaviors, right? And it don't have to get to that point. It absolutely don't have to be that. So whatever it is you desire, it doesn't matter. You have to understand that you have to become that. This is how, quote unquote, manifestation, attraction, magnetism work. This is how that works. A part of it is visualizing. A part of it is mentally thinking about it. A part of it is the law of assumption. A part of it is the attraction. A part of it is the law of magnetism. It's not just one thing or the other. It encompasses all of those things. And there is no skipping steps. There just isn't no skipping steps. You have to vibrate on the frequency in whatever it is you want. Remember, We're calling frequency by specific names. Love is a frequency. Hate is a frequency. Light is a frequency. Is sound, is vibration, right? The sun is a frequency. The earth is everything you can possibly name to associate with whatever it is. It has a frequency. My glasses has a frequency. My mouse has a frequency. Water that's in here definitely has a frequency. My bedazzles that I love so much. Talking about sprinkle, sprinkle, baby, sparkle, sparkle in a righteous way. Okay? All of these things we call by frequency. How can you get to somewhere if you do not understand what it is you're doing or how to? We want things in which we're not willing to vibrate on. You have to understand this at some point. You have to want to understand it. You have to invest in yourself. You do not have the information that you need. Nothing is going to change if you don't get new information. You have to become the love that you need. Feel it, vibrate it. You have to be it. You can't keep talking about you want someone to respect you if you have no integrity. If you're not vibrating on integrity, you cannot expect someone to desire you, to want you, and you still lying about you liking the way you look in the mirror. You can't want somebody to desire you if you secretly, inwardly, knowing or unknowingly, you have insecurities about yourself. How do you want somebody to desire you when you don't even desire yourself? You don't even know what you forgot or have never learned what it is to be sensual, how to tap into that frequency, man or woman. You understand what I'm saying? How you want this man or this woman to desire you and you can't even understand how to frequency, what the frequency is. And a lot of that, the main reason is because you cannot possibly understand because most of us haven't experienced it. Right? So, of course, you're going to have a more difficult time than another person to actually feel how it is to be truly desired, to desire yourself, to think you are sensual and sexy, to have integrity and righteous morals and righteous vibes. How do you want somebody to respect you if you don't respect yourself? You sound crazy talking about you're gonna respect me, you're gonna respect me. Meanwhile, you out here acting all types of foolish and cray cray. How? How are you saying you want all of these opportunities and you haven't become the opportunity? How are you saying you want to be creative? How are you saying you want to create and you don't know how to be creative? You don't even know where that frequency, where that energy is. You don't know how important it is for you to understand your core energy centers. Some of us call that chakras. How are you going to require victorship? How are you going to be the victor if you still vibrating on a victim frequency? How do you want a life filled with optimism if you're pessimistic most of the time? How? 80% of the people that you magnetize, you draw to you, that you attract, that come into your life is a mere reflection of you. It's a mere reflection of you. Star, thank you so much, love. I appreciate you, right? These are some of the things we have to know. How are you gonna be intelligent if you don't become intelligent? If you're not feeding, how do you want to become whatever it is if you're not feeding whatever frequency it is? Whatever you feed will gain power, and whatever you starve will lose its power. You become what you consume, my loves. Are you paying attention to what you're consuming? Or you think that you can just continually overeat on toxicity, overeat on negativity, overeat on foolishness, overeat on and having the same conversations over again, overeat on foolishness, overeat on repetitiveness, overeat on ignorance, overeat on all of these things that are not serving you. And do you not think that you're going to become obese in negativity, obese in insecurities, obese in depression, obese in low self-esteem, obese and pessimistic? No, you got to become vibrant and abundant. Become obese in a wealthy frequency. Become obese in wealth. Become large in that. But how are you going to become large in any of these things you want, need, and or desire if you're doing the very opposite? How do you think you're going to keep drinking poison? Poison. And then you wonder why you getting sick. How am I getting sick? Every time you go into a negative, low frequency, I'm just foolish, loud, where somebody is dragging another person, and it's all bunch of laughs and jokes, calling each other B's and HO3, whatever you call it, 304s and all of these different terms. And how do you think poison? Every time you do that, you're drinking. Every time you're reactive when somebody trigger you, you're drinking. How do you not think you're gonna eventually, metaphorically, how are you thinking you're gonna keep consuming all of this? How do you think you're gonna keep consuming, right? And tolerating people, places, and things that are not doing nothing for you to be what you want to see, vibe, game, recognize, game, example. Yes. I'm Shay Love. Yes, goddess. Pardon me, I ain't say real life. Pardon me. I was looking at my name and just read that. Pardon me. I didn't mean to call you goddess, but you're exactly right, my love bringer. Karen, yes, absolutely. What you consume is what you become. And so, man, let me tell you something. And from one soul to another soul, please pay attention to who's teaching you. Please pay attention to who's teaching you. Stop being so naive and gullible. Come on now, tap in. Stop being so naive and gullible. Just because somebody talking fancy or talking intelligent don't mean you intelligent. Just because you have information don't make you wise. And all a master is, like a master philosopher or a master in whatever area, it simply just means that you have the qualifying information and experience that you need over someone else, right? I'm a master. I teach mastery in my lane. This is what I do. I have over thousands and thousands of hours in my lane. I'm not a master. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a master mechanic. It's just not my lane. I couldn't tell you the first thing about how an engine works. I just give it some oil. That's about it. And there's a whole bunch of tubes in there. I mean, that that's not my lane. That's not my. Stop being easily swayed by people just talking to you about terms and stuff like that without you knowing that they're just unjustly manipulating you. And don't really walk it like they talk it. Walk it like they talk it. Just because somebody telling you they walking it like they talk it, walking, don't mean that they walking it. Come on, use your discernment. It's sickening sometimes to see so many of y'all just, you're right, you just so silly, so silly. All because they got the same wheels. The color of their wheels is your favorite color. Like, come on, if y'all don't grow up already and mature, it gets sickening sometimes. What kind of person? Stop allowing people, again, stop allowing, to say it in a different way, stop allowing people to stifle your energy. And I'm talking about entities. I'm talking about certain things that I say you might not completely understand what I'm saying. However, at some point you will, and you will remember what I'm telling you. Stop allowing entities and people to cipher your pure and divine energy. Stop allowing them to taint your energy. Stop this. Start taking control and responsibility of how you're exhausting and distributing your energy. People need food. Entities need food. Stop feeding the very same beast you want to destroy. Stop it. Because everything you do to another person, baby, it's going to be done to you. Be very careful who you laughing at, who you playing with, who you terrorizing, who you antagonizing. Because it's going to come back to you. Do you think you really going to host lives and keep exposing people? Finding pleasure, taking pleasure in exposing people, quote unquote, dragging people, as some of you say, and then be laughing. And a lot of y'all just jumping on a bandwagon, just foolish. Do you not think that's going to happen to you one day? Do you not think that's going to happen to you one day? I don't care what story is out there, for what reason. Everything you do has a consequence. Everything you do is cause and effect. If you think you're going to keep causing disruption, dysfunction, if you think you're gonna keep feeding poison, if you think you're just gonna keep being unrighteous and selfish, if you think that is the truth, I it's it's so far from the truth. Sometimes when I pause like that, I stop myself from saying certain things for various reasons. And one of them, I'm not supposed to stay at this time or on air, right? We have to know that. And do y'all understand what I'm saying? Put a one in the comment section. Put a one in the comment section, whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, or Facebook. Put a one in the comment section if you understand. If this information is helpful to you, right? Wexy, how are you? Spirit Angel, thank you so much, my love. One of the Rise of a Goddess um, members. Divine Goddess, thank you so much. Audria, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yes, Nina, thank you so much. Right? It's okay to have fun. It's okay to entertain, right? Everything is vibration, everything is frequency, quiet storm. Thank you so much, right? Everything. You have to understand these things, right? Stop knowingly or unknowingly going in cycle after cycle after cycle. And one of the major things that I think a lot of us, not I think, I know, one of the major things that a lot of us lack, as far as when it comes to information in regard to um, manifesting, attracting, and different things is like that. And as far as like how our reality is created, is we do not understand frequency to a high degree, especially when it relates to language, the words that you choose to use. Even if you do not understand etymology to a high degree, you have to learn at some point when you're on your self mastery journey. And this is something that I'm going to be teaching in the private classes. You have to understand how important language cymatics is influencing your life and everything you do. It has everything to do with your neurological system, has everything to do with your energy centers, it has everything to do with your aura, your kai, your chakra system. It has everything to do with your stimuli, how you're stimulated. It has everything to do. Karen, thank you so much. I see the response. It has everything to do with that, right? As many times as we hear words of spells, writing is spelling, and different things like that. And yeah, you should be paying attention to what you say. There is LIFE and DEA, TH in the tongue, and the power of the tongue. The tongue has the ability to create and destroy at the same time. Like, these things are not just cliches, my loves. Thank you so much for the taps. I see the love taps coming. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you. Continue to do that, if your fingers are available, right? That plays language frequency. The frequency of language play a huge part. Language is a principal method of how we not only communicate with each other on the various levels, whether it's verbally, auditorily, visually, through our physical stimuli. It's also how we speak to the language, but how we speak to one another is not how we speak to the universe or to whatever God concept you subscribe to. It don't matter what title, what label, what word you use. It is an infinite frequency, and it only understands frequency. This is why I'm saying language cymatics is incredibly important, because if you do not understand that some of the word frequency choices that you're using in your everyday language is affecting you tremendously, you're going to miss the mark every time. And what did I say in the beginning? If you're not evolving, you're devolving. If you're not expanding, you are self-destructing. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. That's not a debate. I'm not debating about that. It's an actual universal fact, indisputable. You can argue with whoever you want to. Facts are the facts, cause and effect. Nobody is excluded from these laws. I don't care. It doesn't matter what you call it. Language matters because frequency matters. And if you keep using language that is not benefiting you in more ways than you can think about it, guess what your reality is going to continually be? Right? Semantics. You have to understand this. Stop just having foolish conversations. Stop running your mouth just for the sake of running your mouth. Stop displaying your insecurities. Stop doing that. You just only hurting yourself. Stop doing that. Just learn to be quiet sometimes. And it has not, men and women alike. Learn to be quiet sometimes. You don't have to talk all the time. You don't have to engage yourself in especially foolish conversations all the time. You don't always have to share a perspective, a word, an opinion, get your point across all the time. Be quiet. Be quiet sometimes. That's also a part of going deep into meditation and meditation practice, so you can recalibrate, so you can realign your circadian rhythm. If you running your mouth all day, every day, what do you think that is energetically applying? What do you think are the messages that you're sending out into the universe, into the world, and to each other, and to yourself? What do you think is going to continually happen? Some of y'all are on these lives and social media, baby, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, non-stop. The addiction is real. The addiction is real, and you do not really understand. You're self-destructing. Your self-destruction is being accelerated. You have no idea. And I encourage you to get an idea, get a clue, right? Take baby steps, but get a clue. Foolishly speaking, and I'm just coming for you to do this, and I'm just and do you think it's important for child support? And do you think that people got the benefit, or for social welfare? And do you think mamas are taking advantage? And do you think daddies are not being responsible? Do you think that she's a 304, he's a simp, or he's a pimp, or he's a trick? I mean, goodness gracious. Tell me you're unintelligent without telling me you're unintelligent. Who are you fooling? And you wondering why? Some of y'all wondering why? Baby, come on. Just the language you speak. Here's some helpful tips for you. The language of receiving. I am, I allow, I'm open, I'm deserving. These some self-mastery tips and information tips and tricks, some information so you can mentally reverse your program. And this is one of those things. Of course, there's more in depth, but hopefully this can help you. This is the language of receiving, the frequency language, cymatics that you receive, that you speak. It's I am, I allow, I'm open, I'm deserving, I know, I feel, I sense, I see, I know, I am. One of the things that I say, just to let you know, a powerful affirmation or frequency language somatics that I say is I allow, I allow, I allow, I allow myself to be a magnet to fill in the blank, whatever it is I want for whatever season I'm in, whatever it is I want. I allow myself to be a magnet for wealth. I allow myself to be a magnet for desire. I allow myself to be a magnet for peace. In return, I teach others how to do the same. You cannot keep control the narrative of what you give and what you receive. You cannot keep expecting to receive without giving. Remember, there's duality. Always, whenever you are speaking affirmation, a powerful tip is to always include what you're going to do in return. Stop begging. Whoever you begging, whatever you begging, stop begging. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Because you know what that energetically applies? Weakness. Okay? Insecurity, powerless, no confidence. Baby, when you start to learn the things that I'm teaching you, okay, this is just appetizers that I'll be giving y'all, okay? When you start to learn these things, you start to know that, baby, you don't beg for what's yours. Not when you know you have the power to create. You don't have to, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, give me this. And if you do this, I'll never do this. If you do this, I'll never do that. I'll just take it. Just take it. Just help me. Just take it away. Give it away. I need, if you do this, I can just stop begging. Stop begging. Be grateful, yes. You have to know and command with power. In righteousness, with a groundness, not a humbleness, very different. Don't ever make yourself subservient to please another person's insecurities or lack thereof. ... Don't ever do that. However, you can be grounded. You can be confident. You can be confident. I am powerful. I know I'm powerful. I know. I feel powerful. Ashe. Even as I'm saying this, I feel my chakras. I feel my chakras. I'm speaking from a frequency from my root chakra to my ka. Okay? I am powerful. I know I'm powerful. I feel powerful. I speak with power. I exude power. You understand what I'm saying? I know I am sexy because I feel sexy. I see sexy. I'm treated like I'm sexy. I sense sexiness, right? Okay? I speak sexiness, right? I respect myself. I feel respected. I am respect. I get respect. I speak respect. I sense respect. I'm protected by respect. Okay? What is your language you're speaking? Ashe, what's the language you're speaking? Yes, you have to demand what and who you want. Ashe, Fanta, Ashe, right? I'm meant to be what you want to see. Right? There's a difference. Victim language versus victor language. Stop using reverse mantras. I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. What you mean you want to be wealthy? That's the reverse affirmation. I am wealthy. I know I'm wealthy. I deserve. Even that one is on the fence, because even saying you deserve it is underhandedly saying that there's somewhere where you think you're undeserving of it. Ooh, this live has been, it's almost time, baby. I did not know it was an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm gonna have to cut this live in half, make it two parts. Ashe, stop having reverse mantras. Stop speaking reverse mantras. Stop doing that. It's hurting you. Another example would be affirmate reverse affirmations or mantras, things that state the problem and not the solution, or what you desire, while including what you don't want, what you don't need, or what you don't desire, right? I want financial freedom so I can do dot dot dot, things like that, right? I want to feel more sexy because I don't like the way I look in clothes, or whatever it is, whatever the things that you say secretly and in the presence of you, yourself, and you, those matter. Everything you speak, every frequency is a signal. Everything you think is a neurotransmitter, is a message to the universe, or God concept, yourself, your inner self. Everything you speak, it influences your actions, and then it influences your reality, right? Blue Marlin, how are you? Ashe, 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 Ashe. Well, listen, that concludes this lesson. Some of these presentations, your perception plays a huge part in this, right? That's the mantra that I speak, and I use it all the time. First I always give, honor, gratitude, and thanks to the infinite source of creation, the all, that is the all. I give infinite honor and gratitude, and am always grateful for my ancestors who continually um, make the choice to be with me, to guide me, to assist me on my journey, um, in many ways. I thank and give gratitude and honor to the universe, to nature, to the elements of the earth. I thank, honor, and give gratitude to my body, every member. I thank my feet for supporting where and wherever I choose to walk. I thank my toes for giving me stability. I thank my knees. I thank my belly. I thank my heart and my lungs and my lymphatic system. I thank my hands and my toes. I thank my 15 eyebrows eyebrows that I have, right? I thank my lips. I thank my nose. I thank my breath. I thank everything that I can possibly imagine in the times. And if it's not coming to mind, I say thank you, and I'm grateful for even the things that I'm mentioning and I'm not mentioning. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. Yes. Yes. Okay. Thanks for your kindness and knowledge being taught. Ashe. I thank you. Okay, because I am you. I thank you. I thank me. We thank we. I appreciate you. I understand what you're saying. Just a little, ain't nothing. Like to joke. Just different expressions. However, I do notice that I need to replenish my energy right now. Right now, right? It's getting to that time. I typically only teach for about 60 minutes. Okay. So you all got an extra little gift, just more content and more ways that something more that I can post to the people. Um Okay, so here, let me let you know. I don't have, okay, the number. So if you want to be notified when I go live every Saturday or sometimes during the day, please remember, I said it's important to connect with the people who were purposed to be in your life for whatever season, whatever duration, right? please take a moment to text 1833, text MOS, pardon me, MOS, text MOS to 1833 996 3032. The number is right there. That is going to allow you to join our Masters of Self text thread family. So whenever I go live, I shoot you a notification, and if you're able, pull up. Come get this information. Come vibe. Come, let's raise the energy and the frequency, right? Let's play our part. This is one of the ways we get to play our part as a collective, because every time we participate, we grow, we elevate, we expand. We as a collective start feeding positive energies instead of feeding the beast that we seek to destroy. So make sure you take a moment and text MOS to 1833 996 32. There are many apps and things that I invest in so I can be of better service to you. Ashe, I received one text. Ashe, welcome to Masters of Self, right? And so you will always get a text. I don't bombard you with text. I'm not a marketer, even though I have lots of services, ebooks, mentorship, all of these different things. I don't push. I'm not a salesperson. I don't think I'll ever will be, because I'm not after a dollar. I can transparently, honestly say my desire is not to be a millionaire. I have more than what I need, want, and desire. Do you understand what I'm saying? That may not be for everybody. However, this is my journey. It is so much more. So trust me when I say, and I don't need to say that, I'm not after your dollar, honey. I'm not after your dollar, love. Okay. Even my Rise of a Goddess virtual academy, to get all of what I give and bear with righteousness, is $19. Okay. So please take advantage of that. All right. And join me. And make sure you do me a favor, do yourself a favor. I ask you to please also take another moment to go to my YouTube channel, and you can get there by just typing in All Things Self Mastery, or just clicking the link on my bio. There's a hopscotch link in there too that says YouTube, right? Please subscribe to the channel. I see, welcome to Mas, Masters of Self text thread family. Please make sure you help me to, promote. The more we share, the more we share, the more we grow. So if you can, please take a moment to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm also streaming on Spotify and Apple, same name, All Things Self Mastery. I encourage you and ask you, can you please do that for me? Just take a moment out of your time to subscribe to Spotify and YouTube, All Things Self Mastery, and help us grow. Infinite gratitude to you for being here, for engaging with me, for supporting me, investing in yourself, right? I listen to your podcast. Karen, oh, thank you so much. Infinite gratitude, continued enlightenment. Ashe, that means a lot. Thank you so very much. Divine Goddess, thank you so much for sharing. So I infinitely appreciate you all for being here. Thank you with all sincerity. I always bid you, infinite love, infinite peace always, and divine enlightenment to you and all of your loved ones, and to your endeavors. Until next Saturday, I bid you all, until next time, All Things Self Mastery Book Club members, we are going to be meeting tomorrow. It is the 5th, May 5th. We have our book session tomorrow, where we're going to be covering chapters 6 and 7. I'm excited about that. So I will see all of you very soon. If you are interested in the book club, like I said, all of these things are in the link in my bio. We are currently going over the Kabbalion, the Hermetic principles, which I call the universal principles of Thoth. That's what I say. Okay, virtual space. Thank you so much for the support and the follow. Okay, loves. Until next time. Oh, you know what? I always say, well, let me just end this. This concludes this evening lesson. This concludes all things self mastery lesson. Saturday Night Live this evening, May 4th. I am so grateful. Um, I hope that you got everything you needed from it, and I will see you all next Saturday, same time, with another self mastery lesson, all to help you master yourself so you can then master your reality.